him, and I got a chance to hang out with him and grow a relationship with both my mother and my father.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, how old were you when you kind of reunited?
Probably about 16.
16.
Yeah.
And because, as an author, man, experiences like that, really give us some depth. But I would imagine looking at you, you look more like an athlete than an author. So well, tell us a little bit about you growing up and how you first got bit by this writing bug.
Well, again, I never knew I could write. I just knew I wanted to get girls. So by watching the movies, I always kind of felt like a little poetic. So the only time I write something is just to get a girl or something like that.
Roses are red.
Right. And it would work every time. And the writing thing really didn't hit until I was homeless.
Okay.
And I couldn't really sleep inside my truck. So I was like forced to sit and think about a couple of things, and I tried my best to put them in poetic form, and it came out nice.
Okay, well, hold on. You think you're just going to run past this?
Oh, okay. Let's
in my car and come on.
Let's go back.
Yeah, let's go back.
Okay, so what you want to know? How did I get there?
First of all, you originally from Memphis?
Absolutely.
All right, and what high schools or elementary school? What school did you go to?
I went to Northside.
Northside?
Yeah, Overton, Melrose. Okay. I went to a couple.
And what was this, trouble? You were a trouble kid? Or
Not at all. I was kind of a straight A student. Okay. I was just home situations.
Okay.
Home situations.
Something that was beyond your control.
Something that was beyond my control. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, did you see somebody writing along the way? I mean, what?
Absolutely not.
Oh, really?
Absolutely not.
No mentors.
No mentors. No nothing. It's just something that just happened. And that's how I knew it had to be from God, because it was like there's nobody around me wrote anything.
Yeah.
I never was interested in it other than the girl. So it was like. That's how I knew it was from God, though.
Did you play sports back in the day?
I did.
Okay, what'd you play?
Everything. I did every sport I could to stay away from the house. So it's like basketball, football, track, baseball. I tried golf, but I sucked. So,
but we got to get you back at some point, and we can delve deeper into that other stuff that you couldn't control and how you handled that. But let's just talk about what you could control and how you handled that. In our society, we have a lot of room for the troublemaking kids. We have a lot of room for the folks with the balls, football, basketball, baseball. Yeah. But the intellectuals and the stuff that's a little different. How hard was it for you to find somebody that even cared enough to give you some pointers, and who were those persons, and how did that come about?
The mentors I had were all people that I didn't know, like celebrities, like the Les Browns, the Eric Thomases, people like that told their stories online that I could relate to. So YouTube University was my biggest mentor at that point.
Yeah. All right. So now you were at the point where you're getting ready to write your first book. How did that come about, and what was the first book?
The first book was Black: A Love Story. It came about, again, I really couldn't sleep as I was sleeping inside my truck, and I was just going back through my mind about things that I had seen as a child and growing up in adolescence to an adult, and all the ways that I felt from even child support to on down to how I grew up as a kid. So all of those things I put in a journal.
Okay.
And in that journal, I left it in a friend's car.
Okay.
And that friend was nosy, obviously, and he read what was in the journal. And that was the first time I had somebody like, "Hey man, this is good." He's like, "Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I looked in your journal, and you might be on to something."
Yeah.
And that when I got the journal back, that was the first time I had read it back to myself.
Okay.
And then that's when it was like, oh,
it may be beneficial.
I may be on to something. Like that was the first time I realized I was good at it.
Wow. And then publishing or editors, tell us a little bit, because so literally your story is the best one because it wasn't a childhood dream, and you didn't matriculate to this. So how did you, once you got into the nuts and bolts of a book, what were some of those steps?
I asked a lot of people, and nobody really gave me answers. So again, I turned to Google and YouTube to figure out how to go about it. But no, it definitely wasn't a childhood dream. I always thought that I was going to be famous through athletics. And as Black people, we don't readily identify gifts other than singing, running, jumping, and dancing. We don't get into the arts too much unless it's like entertainment or rap.
Okay.
So, but writing definitely wasn't on the map. But The publishing part, I Googled and looked at YouTube for hours and hours and hours, but there probably people that still, like in my comment section, people will be like, congratulations, and some of those people still have me on red.
Wow.
Like they never responded to the questions I asked concerning publishing, which led me to want to help other people.
Well, all right. And so when I look at your website, it looks like you've got a lot of ways that you're doing so. Courses and coaching, you got products, you got bookings, you got tours and events and picture galleries, you got all kind of stuff, man, all from writing, right?
All from writing.
Man, the Bible talks about your gift will make room for you and take you before great people. What are some of the opportunities that writing has opened up for you?
I've been in front of the Les Browns. I've been in the rooms with the Eric Thomases, the people that I was looking up to online, and I've been in those rooms with them, and they personally grabbed my shoulders and gave me some advice. The Eric Jerome Dickens was one of my favorites.
Wow.
I have had several conversations with him before his passing, so he kind of was becoming a mentor before his passing.
It's a lot of guys like you, man, in Memphis Shelby County schools. They're jocks, and but they got other giftings. They play violin, they do dancing, they do, what I'm saying? These brothers sometimes don't even break out of these boxes and use these gifts because the world has battered them to stay within the confines of what we've always said. How were you able to break out of that, man? And then, and then navigate it, because folks probably called you all kind of names, and you're soft now, you're writing books, getting your fingernails done. And
people forget who I was before I started writing books. And it happens. I just stopped caring about what people think. I read a quote that said, I don't know the key to success, but I know the key to failure is trying to please everybody.
Stop it.
So
say that one more time.
I don't know the key to success, because for everybody that's different, but I know the key to failure is trying to please everybody.
Yeah.
So you can't live your life through the eyes of anybody else, and you can't trust your vision, your gift through the sight of anybody else. And everybody has sight, but not a lot of people are blessed with vision. So I took that approach, and I stopped caring what people thought about me.
Yeah,
like,
man, you must have, because the second book that you wrote, I saw a bad mama is worse than a father or something.
Toxic mothers can be just as bad as single fathers. Are y'all ready for that conversation?
Man, how did that book go over?
It's been doing well. It surprisingly, I thought I was gonna get kind of like killed for it or bashed for it, but really, I've got nothing but emails about how from mothers about how it's opened their eyes to the bitterness that they've had toward their sons, because their sons share their father's name, because their sons look like their fathers, and how even women, to the point where how their mothers are sometimes their main competition or their biggest haters for it. Absolutely no reason at all when they're supposed to be there to guide them. So I've had great success with that book as far as people commenting, liking, and sharing, and hit me up in the email. Let me know how much it's affected them.
Okay, and since then you've written a couple other books. So
yes, sir. So I got 7.
7. Okay, tell us the titles right quick.
All right, so they span across all genres. Black, a Love Story. Chocolate Kisses is the children's book. Quit Tripping is the women empowerment book. They Lied to Us. Money Ain't Evil, and Being Broke Don't Make You More Spiritual. That's a book for Christians struggling with prosperity, and the fact that if I try my best to be successful, then that means I'm ungrateful for God because I keep asking. So I wrote that book and saying that, like, you can want more and still be grateful.
Yeah.
She's Faking It. I can't talk about that one over the airways. That's it. And then the one we just mentioned, Toxic Mothers Can Be Just as Bad as Single Father, which all you gotta do is type my name in on Amazon, Clarence Birdsong III, and all 7 of them will pop up.
That's what's up. And then these books are available.
Yeah,
Amazon,
available
different places.
On Amazon, you can get them from my website, the official ClarenceBirdsong.com, and I promise you, they gonna get there on time.
Listen, man. When you get an email from Google or one of these sources telling you sold a book, man, how does that make you feel? You know what I'm talking about? Like you see the labor and you see it when you hand somebody a book and write your name in it. But when you look online and you sold 3 books or 5 books, man, what does that feel like?
When I first got my first Amazon check, it was like it was almost like instant success. Like, I've never averaged anything below probably like $2,500 from Amazon since I started writing. So when I first, every month that I see that, it's a re-energizing feeling, like so it feels wonderful. It feels great.
And not only are people just talking, because we can say, "Oh, we love your books, man," but you done sold one book, you got a trunk full of books, you got a basement full of books. You know what I'm saying? But to see people actually do it, and it's a dying art form. I'm afraid to say, because we got audio books, you got all these other things, other alternatives that people have. So people reading, I know that really says a lot. But go ahead. What were you?
I sold over like 100-some thousand books, independently on my own. And it is, but you got to kind of like diversify how you write, how you sell books, and kind of like move with the times. And that's how you make more money. And that's what my coaches and courses and programs is about.
100,000 books. You sold 100,000 books?
Easy.
What?
Easy.
Okay. Well, no, with $20 get my socks out this thing. Anyway, it's all good, man. What would you say to other young people out there who may have these giftings and sitting on?
Hey, don't let anybody pigeonhole you to what they believe you are. You are, be who God made you, and be who you believe in yourself to be. If you go to sleep thinking about it, if you wake up thinking about it, if you catch yourself in the middle of the day daydreaming about it, that's God's confirmation to you that is yours. So keep going. It don't matter who says what. Believe in what you have.
Man, that's what's up. All right, and some practical things that you maybe learn on YouTube. I know you ain't gonna tell us all the jewels, but just somebody that 1, 2, 3 that maybe wants to write a book and doesn't know how about editing or about publishing. Where do we do?
The way I do it as far as writing is concerned, I get the concept first. Once you get the concept first, and then do the baby steps and outline it, how you want to construct the book. And then Amazon, you got Barnes & Nobles, you got a lot of places out there that'll publish your books independently.
Okay. And then editing, is that a software app for that?
I don't use an app for editing. I use myself and a couple other people.
Okay. So find somebody that maybe is
somebody that's better at you than what.
Better than you at. That's what's up. All right, man. Any shouts out you want to give to anybody, and any final words for our audience?
Shouts out to everybody with a dream. Shouts out to all what seems like 100 kids I have. I love you, and don't ever tell me what you can't do.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I'm sorry. I would be remiss if I let you get out of here without telling us about these chocolate kisses, because that, I understand, was a book about your daughter, your daughter, rather.
So
about dark skin hue.
Yeah, right. So she was in a group. Real quick, she was in a group with lighter skinned individuals. She's not as dark as me, but she wasn't as light as them either. And they kind of let her know that she was different, and it hurt me to see her go through that, because there was a point in time where I grew up in Memphis City schools. It's different. The checking was real, So I didn't want to have kids at first because I was so dark, because I was afraid that
you look so dark you can sell shade.
Yeah. You step out the car, your mama oil light pop on. You know what I mean? So
you can play an alley.
So I heard all the dark skin jokes that were available, and it was to a point where I used to. I remember taking bath in bleach, trying to scrub, trying to scrub the black off.
Wow.
When the wonderful ladies who raised me, she would say, "Boy, you keep doing that, I'm gonna beat the black off you. I get in trouble on purpose. Please, please beat the." You know what I'm saying?
Stop it.
So I didn't want to have kids because of that reason. Because I was too afraid that they was gonna be dark like me and have to go through those different stages of emotion.
That melanin is so rich, and so what I mean, just everything that you're running from are the things that make you great. You know,
the things that make you. So I wrote
I ain't got time to fool with you, man. Come on, wrap it up.
So I wrote that book for her, and then after explaining to her, I wrote that book because I knew that there were more people around the world struggling with that.
Man. Yeah. And the name of that book is?
Chocolate Kisses.
Chocolate Kisses.
Everything you can find on Amazon. Just type in my name, Clarence Birdsong III.
Clarence Birdsong III in the studio live at 88.5. If you're just joining us, you're inside the Mads Author Spotlight. And man, I could do this for hours and hours and hours. I sound like the little song from the lady. Anyway, but I appreciate you and opening up, man, and giving us this insight into who you are and what you're into. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you, if you have some giftings on the inside of you, if you have something that has been lying dormant, that today, this moment is your time to bring it out into the open, because you can't get out of life alive, first of ball, and there are giftings that we need because when you step out, we get stronger because of that, all right? Join us next week for another exciting edition of Mad's Author Spotlight. Stick around. Coming up is another interview I'll have at 9:30, and you don't want to miss it. In the meantime, let's enjoy this one right here on the only station you and your entire family can agree on, 88.5 FM.